How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. And today we're going to be talking about MMAT, metamaterials. Many have been saying, yo, Dre, we need an update. It's been a while, so you know what? I got to make sure that I have you guys covered. So let's jump into it. I won't waste any more time. Let's go over the agenda. If you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know we have timestamps down below inside the description. But if you are a shareholder or you're thinking about taking a position, I highly suggest you watch this full entire video. So the first thing that we're going to go over is the technical analysis. We're going to take a look at the overall price action. We want to know support, we want to know resistance, or what are some levels that we want to look out for, especially since we've been having quite a choppy week. And then we're going to be going on Fintel, taking a look at the recent institutional ownership and as well as the short interest information. As far as for the short volume ratio and how vested shorts are inside of this play, it will have an impact on the stock. And then we're going to be taking a look at the order flow distribution. Were institutions loading up on shares of metamaterials today? We're going to find out. And then when all of that is done, we'll be going into the final thoughts and as well as some more details. So we're going to be doing a technical analysis for metamaterials. Let's see how it performed on the day. So it ended up closing at $5.11, being down 6.41%. On the low, it tested $4.88, and then on the high, testing $5.43. When we take a look at the volume stats on the day, we traded at 17.33 million shares, and the average volume over 10 trading days being at 35.809 million shares. So we ended up having some below average volume, and of course with the choppy markets that we are having, we ended up pulling back. Now when we take a look at our chart, which is the 1-year daily chart, you can see below the RSI is right at 62.03. So yes, it is downtrending from where it was previously, but do keep in mind it is still in the overbought territory. Taking a look at the moving averages on the chart, we still continue to have strength above all of them, and that's taking into consideration the 200-day, the 21-day EMA, the 50-day, and as well you can see right here we're holding up sitting on the 100-day, which is set at $5.07. So I was talking about in my last metamaterials video, we want to see it hold up the $5 area. It did end up testing $4.88 on the day, but this is of no surprise because it's shown to have some strength in this particular area all the way back here. As you can see, clearly it was around in July. So seeing it hold up in that level, we want to see if that's going to end up happening going into tomorrow due to the fact we did have a pullback. If that level does end up being revisited and we end up breaking it, then of course we can end up reaching levels here to around $4.30. And at the end of the day, this really doesn't bug me too much due to the fact that we are still above the 200-day. If we end up pulling back to the point where we start falling below the 200-day, then I'd be a lot more concerned. But as long as we're holding up that 200-day area, things look good. But the best case scenario, like I was saying, is to hold up as close to $5 as possible, because then we can look forward to making that move back to the $6 range when the markets begin to pick back up and we have big money flowing in to the small and as well as the medium cap growth stocks. So we're going to be taking a look at the recent institutional ownership and short interest information for metamaterials. As we scroll down on the page, green rows indicate new positions while red rows indicate closed positions. So we can see here from the recent filing we have for September the 7th, New Bridge Financial Services Group that purchased 737 shares. And of course, this is a filing. This wasn't on the day that they actually purchased it on. And then we take a look at all the previous ones, which I feel we covered on the channel. We have Parametric Portfolio Associates went in with just under 11,000 shares, and we have Vanguard that went in with just under 19,000 shares. Now, when we take a look at the short interest information, scrolling down on the page, short shares availability is at 300,000, updated 19 minutes ago, and for the short borrow fee rate, it is at 3.40%. When we take a look at the history of the short volume ratio, we can see for the close of the second, it was at 33.68. The close for the third, it was at 52.82, and you can see for the close of the 7th, which was yesterday, being at 35.25. So it has gone down quite a bit when we take into consideration what we saw it being in that 50% range. So one thing we do have to be aware of, though, it still continues to have short squeeze potential. Normally what we tend to look for is a short float that is above 21%, and of course we're already fulfilling that criteria. So that's what I'm saying. If we end up having a lot of volume coming into this stock, we could see some strong moves to the upside. But if we don't end up getting a lot of volume coming through this stock and then having selling pressure, then we could continue to see a downtrend in the stock price, and it's part of the reasons why I cover areas of support, because that's where we want to see some strength as well as for a rebound. Now let's take a look at the order flow distribution for metamaterials. So we can see on the inflow side it was at 16.35, and then on the outflow side it was at 17.27. When we take a look on the inflow side on the large, it was 0. On the medium it was 10.08, and then on the small it was at 6.27. When we take a look at the outflow side on the large, it was 0.21. On the medium it was 10.68, and then on the small it was 6.38. So you can see clearly it was an outflow day in every single category as well. Taking a look at the large scale orders in the last 5 days, you can see for September the 8th, we have 206, and we were aware of that since we took a look at that on the large for the outflow side. Yes, we did end up having a pullback, but what I want to see in regards to the technicals is holding up that $5 level. We did end up breaking right through it, but again, we were able to rebound and finish the day above $5. So again, keep an eye on that key area, and I'm going to continue to keep you guys updated as far as when it comes to this play. So now let's jump into the final thoughts, and we'll go over some more details as well. So for my final thoughts for metamaterials, there's going to continue to be a lot of volatility inside of this play. When we went on Fintel, one thing that we can clearly see, it still has short squeeze potential, which tells us there's still a lot of shorts who are vested inside of this play. So if we're not getting a lot of volume, then you're going to continue to see some pressure on the overall stock price. I know many people were telling me, hey, I've been waiting to get into Meta under $5, and hey, today you ended up getting that opportunity. Now, as far as what we want to see volume coming back into the stock. Of course, that would be buying pressure, because if we end up getting that, then we can go back to that $6 range. But as long as we have a lot of stocks pulling back, especially when it comes to the small caps, medium caps, and even the big caps have been pulling back as well, then the overall stock market as a whole will be in a selling environment, and this is the reason why Meta is actually impacted by this. So this is why it's very important that you're doing your homework and you're doing your due diligence, and you have the right strategy in place to make sure you're doing what is best for you. This is part of the reasons why at a time like this, we just have to have patience, and the stocks that you see doesn't have to be metamaterials specifically. If it is dipping or it is pulling back and you have high conviction, it's an opportunity to add to your position. But overall, in general, I'm looking forward to seeing what Meta does for the rest of this week, and as well as going into next week, because we do have the witching that's going to be happening on the end of the Friday. There's a lot happening. So I do believe, as far as momentum is concerned, hey, it might take another week and so on, and I want to make sure that you know that. And as far as for the conditions are concerned, you know what to expect. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and we'll be talking real soon.